Systems enable us to be efficient and productive while producing consistent, repeatable results. Many of us have systems for the various departments or functions in our business, but most overlook marketing. If you want to grow your business predictably, a marketing system is a must. And today I'm going to walk you through a simple marketing system you can apply to your business immediately. Hi, I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing, where we believe you must remove your revenue roadblocks if you want to accelerate growth, and marketing shouldn't be difficult. So the system that I'm going to walk you through is based on the fundamentals and principles of marketing that do not change. Okay, we've got to obsess over the things that don't change. Right? I call it the Rialto Revenue Acceleration System, and it focuses on helping businesses remove the 9 revenue roadblocks that exist in marketing so that you can see consistent, repeatable results, you can accelerate growth, and get where you want to go faster. So those that are watching, I'm going to share this image. For those that are listening, I'll still walk you through, and you'll be able to understand it and get the gist of what I'm talking about here. So there are 3 overarching components to this revenue acceleration system. There's strategy, planning, marketing planning, and then marketing leadership. You've got to have all 3 of these in place. If one of them is out of alignment or they're missing, it is going to impede and get in your way of actually growing and getting where you want to go faster. So those 3 fundamental things: marketing strategy, planning, and leadership. And then within each of those 3 areas, there are 3 roadblocks that we've got to remove, and we got to remove those roadblocks. So there's 3 overarching areas, and then there are 9 revenue roadblocks in total. Okay. So if we look at strategy, within strategy, the 3 roadblocks that exist within strategy are your target market, your message, your marketing messaging, and then your services and your offers. We've got to focus on strategy first. So many people jump into the marketing tactics, and when they do that, they're putting the cart before the horse. So the way I think about these things is strategy is fuel. Planning is where you're starting to outline the marketing vehicles that you're going to use. And then leadership is where you choose the driver. Who's going to get in these vehicles to get them where they need to go? See how we've got to have all 3 of these things in place? If we don't, you might have vehicles, but you got no fuel. Right? Or maybe you have fuel, but you haven't chosen the right vehicles. Okay, that's not going to work either, right? Or maybe you've got fuel and you've got vehicles, but you have no driver. That's not going to work either. So within strategy, target market, we've got to understand the market we're going to serve and who our ideal clients are within that market. Everything from a marketing standpoint is built from this. So once we understand who our target market is and who our ideal clients are, then and only then can we create a message that is going to attract and engage those people. And then we've got to have services, and our offer to those ideal clients need to be in alignment, right? It's got to be something that they are going to find value in, right? It's got to solve a relevant problem for them. And of course, they've got to have the money to actually pay for that, right? So within strategy, target market, messaging, and your services and your offers to that market, then we can start to transition into planning. And within planning, we're looking at lead generation. How are you going to generate leads? We're looking at lead conversion. Once you generate a lead, how are you going to consistently convert those leads to clients? And once you have clients, what are you doing to retain those clients? And what are you doing to get referrals? So the three elements in planning are lead gen, lead conversion, and then retention and referrals. So many people with marketing focus specifically on the lead gen side of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. Generating leads is great. We have to generate leads. But if you're so focused on generating leads and not focused on how you're going to convert them, and then once you have them, how you're going to retain them and how you're going to generate referrals, I think you're missing the boat. So when we look at planning and start to outline the vehicles that we're going to use, we've got to look at the vehicles we're going to use in each of these three buckets, each of these three roadblock areas. Because a lot of people approach marketers thinking they have a lead gen problem, and they actually don't have a lead gen problem. They've got a lead conversion problem, or they've got a retention issue that needs to be addressed. So we've got to look at the whole picture here when we start to look at planning and outlining the vehicles that we're going to use. Once we've got strategy in place, we've outlined the vehicles that we're going to use within planning, then we transition to leadership. And leadership, honestly, this is where I see great marketing plans go to die, right? If you don't have a leader that is overseeing the implementation and execution and optimization of your plan, you can have the best plan in the world and it doesn't matter. So within leadership, the three roadblock areas that we look at removing here are metrics. What metrics are you going to track, right? That are going to help guide the decisions that you make, right? We're taking a data-driven approach to our marketing here. What metrics are we going to track that are going to help guide the decisions so that we can make strong decisions and informed decisions? The next revenue roadblock that we need to remove is implementation and execution. Again, if you don't have somebody overseeing the implementation and execution, it's not going to work. You can have a great strategy, you can have a great plan, but if you fail to implement and execute, nothing's going to happen. And once we look at implementation and execution, the last roadblock we need to remove is optimization. Marketing is not a set it and forget it activity. You are always testing, measuring, and then taking those tests and what you measured and making tweaks to continually optimize it. Super, super important. You are never done. This is a wash, rinse, repeat cycle when it comes to marketing. So you've always got to be looking at optimization and how you can just incrementally. Sometimes these are not huge optimizations. It's just little things. But those little things over time yield exponential results. So super important. So that is a walkthrough on the Rialto Revenue Acceleration System. Honestly, whether you work with us or not, this model can be applied to any business. You've got to have strategy in place. You've got to have solid plan that outlines the vehicles you're going to use. And then you've got to have leadership. You have to have drivers that are getting those vehicles to the intended destination. If you are struggling in any of these areas, you can always reach out to us, set up a discovery call with me over at rialtomarketing.com. I would be happy to talk to you about your specific situation. But the other tool is over at revenueroadblockscorecard.com. And at revenueroadblockscorecard.com, you can get a personalized scorecard of how you are doing in each of these 9 areas, in each of these 9 roadblocks, and identify which of the roadblocks are really slowing down your growth right now. So take advantage of it. Less than 5 minutes over at revenueroadblockscorecard.com or connect with us over at rialtomarketing.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, to listen. I appreciate you. And till next time, take care.